one that annoyed me was when the nurse was inserting it. I shouted because I didn't expect that kind of pain. I cannot bear pain actually. It was like, Madam, why are you shouting? I said, why am I shouting? Don't you know what you're doing? Hi guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, like I promised, I'm going to be talking about full delivery gist. I'm going to be giving you guys all the gist one by one, how everything happened on the day I went into labor. From that day till the day I actually gave birth, how long we spent in the hospital and how everything happened. So if this is your first time coming across this channel, please do subscribe and join the family. And if you're an old subscriber, we're very grateful. And first of all, I want to appreciate those who just joined us recently. My YouTube channel has been growing massively and I'm very grateful. I cannot be happier than I am right now, and I wouldn't have gotten this far even for you guys. So without much talking, let's get into the video. If you've not watched my previous video, you may not really understand this video. In order for you to comprehend properly, you have to go and watch my previous video, because that was when I started talking about the whole labor delivery thing, and I stopped where I went to the hospital and found out that I was 3 cm dilated on my antenatal appointment date. So I promised to do a continuation of that video, which is this one you're watching now. After finding out that I was 3 cm dilated, by evening I was already 4 cm dilated. So I called my husband to get my hospital bag and baby things. Something very strange, unusual happened. In fact, a lot of things happened that night, because I started feeling the actual labor pain by Friday at about 9 to 10 p.m. That was when I got to 5 cm. So by the time I got to 6 cm dilated, and the doctors the midwives, were checking me hourly. I don't know, I'm not really good with this medical terms, so I'm going to try as much as possible to explain it to the best of my knowledge, because I'm not a doctor, so don't come for me. When I got CCM, it took hours. In fact, till Saturday morning, till about 1 a.m. Saturday, from 9 p.m. till 1 a.m. Saturday, I was still 6 cm dilated, and my doctor was beginning to get concerned. So he called me and he said that he wants to examine me again. At that time, I was already tired of this whole labor thing. Checking is actually painful. So I was just fed up. A lot of women that came with me for antenatal that day, some gave birth that Thursday. I mean, the ones who were asked not to go home together. That's if you watch my previous video, you understand better. So some gave birth that Thursday, some gave birth on Friday, some gave birth Friday midnight. I think we were just 3 left. The other one gave birth after me, right after me, then the last person, before the last person. So I was the one now, like ahead of them, like how well my service has dilated. So I was ahead of them. Some of them were 2 cm, 3 cm, 4 cm, 5 cm. I was ahead, so they were expecting me to actually give birth before these other 2 people. I was telling myself that yes, I'm going to give birth before these 2 people. At least I'm not going to be the last person. Man plans, or how did they even say that a man proposes, God disposes, or I don't know. I was hoping that I would push my baby, and I already ate things that would make myself dilate faster, because at 38 weeks my doctor advised me to be eating more of pineapple. So I was eating pineapple almost every day, like a full bunch. I was going out in the evening to do exercise, pelvic floor exercise and everything. I was just following up because I really wanted to push, but I didn't end up pushing my baby. I'm not anti-CS, but I'm just this kind of person that I'm the last person to tell to go into the theater. Like, I don't know if there are people there are women like me. I wouldn't advise you against it, but I'll just take it as the last option when every other options has been exhausted. That's the only time I can say, okay, let's do this. But it's not my first option. there are some women that came with us that day, and some of them just, opted for CS without even having to stress themselves, labor and all that and all that. So I was like, no, I wouldn't do this. That would be my last option. In fact, it was not even in my dictionary. It wasn't my plan. Like, I never saw it coming. So my doctor said, okay, I'll have to check you, because every other person, you know, that you were ahead of, like these other two women, they've even gone farther than you. So what's the problem? Why are you stuck there? Like, what's it? So he took me inside and he checked me for the last time. So he came out and he told my husband that I have a big baby, and my service, I don't know, he said something like short service, be something like this is the farthest your service can dilate. It cannot dilate more than this. So it would be wise opt for CS, like to go into the theater. So my husband came and he didn't want to put it to me like that. He just said, ah, this baby is taking time, oh, you know, water has broken. I've seen mucus plug with blood. So the doctor said since water has broken and the baby is not, like the labor is not progressing, why don't we just, he didn't even say the way the doctor said it to me. So he was like, why don't we just go into the theater? Let's go and do CS. It's not a big thing now. Look at all the people that, the people that you even started this whole thing before them. They've already gone, some of them are already, in the world with their baby. Let's just try and do something. I asked him, is that what the doctor said? Because my husband just, we're on the same note. Only for him to go and see the doctor and come back, he started telling me another thing. Is that what the doctor said? He said something like that. He didn't want to scare me. The doctor had already told him that the baby is at risk. Since the water has broken, what is helping him, hold on. So it would be wise if we just go into the theater as soon as possible. So he didn't just want to tell me like that. That was why he came out and he said, beating about the bush. But I saw some kind of seriousness in what he was saying, because I know him. I know him too well. I thought that he was a bit serious. I said, okay, since we've been stuck at CCM for a very long time, let's just wait. At least let's wait for like 1 more hour or 2 hours and see. A miracle can happen. Anything can just happen. I convinced him. He said, okay. So we went outside. We started exercising. I started running, jumping, lying, doing everything I could do just to induce labor. I started praying at some point. The labor pains were gone at CCM. Like everything, just like it was just like the way I felt when I went to the hospital on that Thursday morning. No sign of labor, no pain, nothing. That's after water had broken, like the membrane had ruptured. I said, like, I went back to normal. And so at some point they had to check my baby's heartbeat, something like that. So they found out it was faster than usual. And the doctor, now that was when the doctor told me that at this point, if you want to save your baby, this is what we have to do. Your service cannot delete further than CCM, and that's just it. Because I cannot, at this point, I cannot come and paint words to you. So if you want to carry your baby alive and go home, you have to go into the theater. Now, you and your husband, you have to sign. So we take you into the theater. I was like, what is this? And then he also told me that my baby was big, like about 4 point something. So there's no way I can possibly push out this baby by myself. And looking at the fact that according to him I have a short service, I wasn't scared, I wasn't happy, I wasn't sad. I was just there. And I said, okay, at this point, if this is what will make my baby, to be alive and healthy, to be safe for me, because I know what I went through the 9 months. So if this is what will make me to come back with my testimony, so be it. And I prayed, I handed everything over to God. They took me into the theater. While I was waiting for them to come and give me an anesthesia, and I think something like that, I told him that I'm beginning to have these pains again. He said, madam, we cannot wait. Your baby is big. It's very big. The membrane has ruptured. So we cannot wait anymore. Let's just do it. I said, okay, what about the pains now? He said, okay, they are going to give me some injections, and when after taking the injections, that I will not feel those pains anymore and all that. This video is getting so long, sorry, but I I'm trying to like, I'm even trying to be brief. I cannot forget that experience. I just laid down there. The whole place was white, the wall, the ceiling, everything. I was like, God, am I transcending to heaven? Am I going to heaven like this? I hope I will come out alive. I was so scared. I started thinking about my family members. I started confessing my sins. I was not really saying these things out, but in my mind, I was like, God, if I've ever done anything that will take my life today, please forgive me. I started praying. There was one female surgeon there. She always come and be like, "Are you okay? Are you fine?" I said, "Yes, I'm fine." At some point, I wanted to suffocate, like I couldn't breathe properly, so they brought something like a nose mask or face mask, I don't know, put it in my nose, and she was pressing that thing to supply me air and all that. I wasn't really paying attention. They were actually trying to discuss with me. I don't know if they planned it to get my my attention. I just saw somebody's hand move like this. I felt something, but not pain. I just felt like, when someone just touched you like this. I felt something, but not pain. The next thing I saw, I didn't really see the baby, but I heard his cry. When they brought him out, he cried. He cried. He was actually so big. He was so big. They cleaned him and they took him to his dad. Then I started feeling, after the whole thing, I started feeling sleepy in there. When I was waiting for them to come and wheel me back, I started feeling sleepy. Like the female surgeon said, if you want to sleep, please sleep. But I said, no, I can't sleep. Oh, I can't sleep here. I know I feel sleepy, but not here. I can't sleep here. I need to see my baby. I need to see my husband. So my husband brought him to the theater there. I saw his face. I was looking so cute. Then I saw my husband. My husband was like, "Are you okay? Are you fine? Any complaints? Any pain?" I said, "No pain." I even thought the whole thing was going to be painless like that for life. I was like, okay, no wonder people opt for CSO. So it's not really painful. It's just, just go there, do your thing, bring out the baby. I thought, but that wasn't the reality. It was after, they wheeled me into my ward. Then later, when I started feeling my legs, because when they were doing their whole thing, I couldn't feel my legs anymore. When I started feeling my legs, when I could carry my legs up, bring them down, Jesus, I can't forget that day. In my mind, I was like, if this thing is this painful, why would some women in their whole like with their consent say this is the procedure, this is the best process I will follow until I'm done with giving birth. It was not easy. I started shouting at some point. I was like, my mom came already. My mother-in-law was there. So I said, "Mommy, please tell them to come and attend to me because this pain is too much. I cannot even describe the pain. It was not easy." So they came. They gave me some. They started putting drips and drips and drips. I could not eat for the next 2 days or so. I couldn't eat anything. No water, nothing. But I wasn't feeling hungry. I was just happy, satisfied, seeing my baby and my husband and family members. At the same time, I was in pain. On the third day, I was able to get up. Okay, that's even, made me to remember that there's something, I don't know if it's catheter, something like that they put in me. So if I want to urinate, I'll just urinate in there and I'll see it inside the transparent bag or sack, something like that. There was a nurse that came and asked me if I could get up, move around. I said yes. So she removed it. Inserting that thing is another pain on its own. Like inserting that thing, I don't know what they call it, that catheter, whatever, was another pain. Like, and the way the doctors will keep their face, they will just keep their faces as if they cannot feel your pain, as if they don't know that this thing is painful. Oh God. The one that annoyed me was when the nurse was inserting it. I shouted because I didn't expect that kind of pain. I cannot bear pain actually. It was like, "Madam, why are you shouting?" I said, "Why am I shouting? Don't you know what you're doing?" She said, "Calm down, calm down." I said, "It's painful." Getting it off wasn't even painful, like when she was inserting it. But my first pull, like the first time I went to pull in the hospital, we stayed there for like 7 days, not because of me, but because of my baby. He had jaundice. In fact, that should be that should be a story for another day because this video is already long. But because of the jaundice and stuff, we were discharged on the 7th day. That's when he was he was okay, but we're still going for treatment morning and evening. We're still going back to the hospital for treatment for 7 days again. So me going to the hospital, thinking that okay, since I've, my cervix has dilated to this point, I'm going to actually push my baby and, come back my 2 legs, like the normal strong Nigerian or African woman. It didn't happen that way. But I went through 2 stages of pain because the doctor also told me that if you were this kind of woman that would just offer CS, you wouldn't have suffered what you suffered. After going through labor pains, after having to go through labor pains, because I remember at CCM it was not easy for me anymore. It was difficult for me to even walk around. And then the water breaking thing, the way it happened, it's not like the way I imagined. Like the way we normally see in Nigerian movies, you just see water. It didn't happen like that too.
Okay, guys, sorry for the error in transmission. I actually recorded at I don't know. Maybe I mistakenly turned off this mic when I went to breastfeed my baby in the course of making this video. So it was not easy, guys. At the end of the day, I passed through labor pains and still ended up in the theater on emergency. Anyways, everything about my baby is like a miracle to me. Conceiving him, carrying him in my womb for 9 months. I went through a lot. I was hospitalized so many times during the course of, trying to bring him to this world and the whole thing. So, but I thank God for the successful end of my 9 months. At least I have my testimony. I can see him, and every day I try to remind myself of how far I have come and how strong God has created me. I know that there are women out there who has, been through similar thing, but we give thanks to God. It does not matter how, it's just that at least we achieved our aim. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.